team struggles this season again, it seems like.
Listen, I'm not sure it's more significant, but I think I understand why you're kind of asking it. That's probably not to that extreme, but I knew today was going to be really a tough game. You know, you're kind of getting questions all week and people expecting, you know, what you're going to do about breaking down a low block and teams that come in. Fulham was never going to do that. They've showed that this is a really, really good team. So we knew today was going to be a big challenge, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't going to go smoothly, and even at 2-0, they were 5-1 down against City and ended up coming back to 5-4. So we kind of knew that in going into the game, and I think the character to show that once we've had that big setback, it was a huge setback, and in 90th minute or whenever it was, to do that on the back of what we did last week off a setback, is probably the most pleasing thing, to keep the belief, keep the confidence. Listen, the rest of the game, we can play better at times, we can do things a lot better in certain moments, but I can't fault the players. The spirit is taking us through today, and it's a good feeling when it does.
Talk about confidence. How much do you think confidence after Benjamin Shashko after getting that winner? Because he has not had a lot of games in the last few weeks, but that must have been a moment.
Huge moment. I'm so pleased. Everyone in the changing room, players, staff, absolutely delighted from him, and the reception he got when he came back in the change room kind of told us everything. He's even confident, to be honest. The confidence, it wasn't so much that. I think he's been fantastic. We've worked with him a lot in different ways over the last couple of weeks. He's been bright in training, he's looked dangerous, he's done extra. The coaches have done a lot of bits on the side, and Trav particularly, he's done a lot of work one-on-one with him. And Ben's a big talent, you know, and he's got so many positive things. And today's a huge goal, because that feeling, you kind of, as a striker, you're here to score a win in front of the Stretford end late like that. It's kind of what you dream of, really. And after missing a chance, which is what it is for strikers, miss chances, to go again and put that away, absolutely so pleased for him. He really deserves it.
Michael, since Ruben left, there's been a lot of talk externally about the Manchester United DNA and what that is and whether you can reconnect it. And some people laugh at that and say it isn't anything. But when Manchester United score at Old Trafford in the last, in injury time, that feels like Manchester United. That is Manchester United. Is that how you see it?
It's the best feeling, I have to say. Yeah, some of the best moments here that I've been lucky to be part of. The game, you can dissect the performance, and there's pluses and there's not. When you get a moment of the elation and the excitement like that, it's for me, there's no better place, you know, in front of the Stretford end like that. It's and it ends up meaning more. I think people leave here with more than just, oh, you know, United won today, and it kind of puts layers on top of that, and the connection and the feeling, the emotion, and it's why we all love it so much, and especially the supporters. So it goes a long way, you know. There's been plenty. The excitement, that's part of this club, and it's not always the easiest way, but we'd like to win games a little bit more comfortably than that, but certainly when they come along, it's pretty special.
Michael, you've played in a lot of games like that here that end dramatically and end with a late winner. I'm just wondering what it's like to manage in one. How do the emotions differ, kind of being on the touchline to being on the pitch?
Yeah, slightly different. I think when you're in the thick of it, and as a player, you're right in the moment, and you don't always see the bigger picture. You know, you're a little bit differently in terms of attachment to the game. But I was pretty calm all the way through. Disappointed, obviously, with the second goal, but I was aware there was still 8 minutes to go at that point when they scored. And if anything, I was thinking there's a long time to go, and we still had the players on the pitch at that point that I think could really make the difference for us. So I was still really positive that I thought we'd find a moment. And listen, when it's hard to hold your kind of your emotions together when the goal goes in like that. So I think we all celebrated when that went in. But yeah, I did feel we'd have a moment. We tend to in them type of games. You always have a moment. It's just whether you can take it. And Ben certainly did that from Bruno's great work down the right.
Paul? Mike, you talk about being calm there. You do seem quite calm throughout the whole game, and is that important to you to kind of like project that to the players, and do you think they kind of feed off that as well?
Yeah, listen, there's times to be calm, there's times to be emotional, and there's times to be times to be angry, there's times to be upset, there's times, you know, that is part of the game, and I think it can't be underestimated that you've got to bring that emotion at times, but certainly that composure and that calmness for the players to think, be able to think clearly. It's getting the balance, you know, and I think we've got the balance pretty well over the last 3 games of playing with that bit of fire and bit of hunger, and but knowing, making good decisions as well. And I'm not sure we all made good decisions when that goal went in terms of how we celebrated, but it's that's what you strive for, you know. That's why we all love the game, for moments like that. So when they do come, you've got to make the most of them.
Jamie, and then last one.
Michael, everything that you're touching on is turning to gold. Can it continue to the end of the season?
Oh, listen, we've all been in this game a long time, you know, and you never take anything for granted at all. We can perform better than what we did today, I think. Well, that's credit to Fulham being such a good team. So I'm sitting here and thinking it's a good sign. We feel we can get better. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden we get better and we keep winning games. You know, I think understanding what got us to this point is important, and the hard work and the kind of work for each other that the lads are certainly putting in. I think that's important. But listen, I'm not getting carried away. It's great when you're in a position and you're winning games for sure, but it doesn't mean you necessarily just win the next one. So we'll have another good week and prepare for that.
Does the ceiling for this team, how good it could be, excite you? It's like a talented bunch. You know, can you see?
No, there's huge talent within the team. I think we showed that in this short space of time in different ways, and big goals and some great play. I think consistency and over a game, even in terms of with the ball, without the ball, and in moments that we'd like to look a little bit better. That's normal, but that's up to us to try and put that in place, you know. But the boys they're desperate to learn, desperate to keep improving, and you always feel you got a chance in the game when you got players on the pitch can produce moments. So the more of them, the better for me.
Hi Michael. I think probably maybe you had a brilliant performance today. I just wondered what you thought of his performance. Obviously he played well in the previous 2, but today I think it was a big step up. How important do you think he is going into leading, key leader in the club's future?
Yeah, I think Cobby's performance was very, very good today in so many ways. Again, I think you could see that the way Fulham played and overload the middle at times in the movements, and there was a lot of work for Cobby and Cassie to do, in particular in the middle of the pitch.